Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today's card features components from the April 2016 card kit, and I have created a pretty clean and simple card. There's only 2 layers here. There's a white card base and then a couple popped up layers with the greeting stamped in between. I'm using some of the white cardstock in the kit. I've cut it lengthwise in half and then scored it and folded it in half for a top fold card. From the other half of the paper, I am going to die cut a rectangle using the bundle of stitched designs from Simon Says Stamp, and that's going to give the great stitching detail. In this same collection, there is a straight line piece that has stitching, and what I'm going to do is die cut it at a diagonal, which is kind of trendy and popular right now. So I'm going to have 2 pieces, and what I need to do is I accidentally cut it the wrong way. I need the straight line on the bottom with the stitching on the top. So what I did was I just lined it back up with the bottom or the straight line piece there to add that stitching line. So now I have a top and a bottom piece, but I need a little bit of space in between these two. So I'm going to go ahead and take my straight line piece again. I'm going to use a little post-it tape on the back of the 2 panels to hold those together while I work with my straight line to I'm just eyeballing it. You could measure it if you wanted to. I did not. I know that I'm going to use one of the label type greetings from the stamp set included in the card kit. So I'm going to line that up, use some post-it tape to hold it in place. I'm going to pop off that top piece and then run that through. But yet again, I accidentally die cut it on the wrong side, leaving the straight edge without the stitching. So I'm going to take my die, line it up with that edge, and just run it back through so I get that great stitching detail. I'm going to move that out of the way now and take both pieces for that top panel and lay them out on my work table. I'm going to leave a little bit of space in between them. Then I'm going to take some of the stamps, the florals here from the stamp set included in the kit, and ink them up with different Simon Says Stamp inks to create the floral background. So I'm going to create my own pattern basically. I'm going to start with the Malibu and Audrey Blue inks. So the big solid flower is going to be stamped with the Malibu ink. Then on top of that, I'm going to be stamping the Audrey Blue ink. No real way to line those up perfectly or anything like that. The beauty of this is kind of the imperfection. The center of the flower is going to be a black dot. I recommend when building a background like this that you work from one corner and kind of work your way either down and out or up and out. In this case, it's going to be up and out so that you don't leave any big spaces that don't have any inked designs. The yellow is the duckling color from Simon Says Stamp. And then a little bit of black with that great little image there for the inside of the flower. The leaves are all stamped in combinations of the green apple and green leaf inks. For my red flower, I'm going to stamp the base with lipstick red ink, and then the dot, instead of doing black, I'm going to do the schoolhouse red ink in the center, just to mix it up a little bit and maybe soften it so there isn't quite so much black. There's going to be black centers in the blue flowers and the yellow flowers both. Go ahead and fill in this last little corner down here. Then add some more leaves before I add more flowers. Go ahead and fill in this little area. Again, using the Malibu ink and then the Audrey Blue on top. I'm using a stamp scrubber pad to clean anything that needs to be cleaned. Go ahead and fill in another little yellow flower with the duckling yellow. It's starting to kind of take form or shape. You can see the pattern that's going to develop now that I have quite a few more of the images stamped. I'm going to fill in again with the little red, the lipstick red flower and the schoolhouse red center. I'm alternating that center between the black and that schoolhouse red. You also want to make sure that you kind of evenly distribute your largest design. So in this case, it's going to be that large blue flower. And that you periodically add some of that greenery, the leaves, because that's really going to kind of help even out the whole design. I have almost this whole panel filled out. I'm going to add a little leaf there. And I was going to add a flower, but then I decided I probably needed to add a little greenery. So I'll do that first and then add that yellow flower. I left a little space so I could do one more large blue flower along the bottom edge. I am working on the Simon Says Stamp grid paper background. What's great about this is I could test some of the inks together. You can see there on the right side, so that I could see if I liked how they work together before I committed them to my actual project. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for the top panel, just repeating this over and over, and then I can work on finishing the rest of the card design. Once I have everything, all the flowers stamped, I am going to take these two panels and lay them on my white card base so that I can make sure and kind of gauge where exactly my space is to stamp my greeting. And you could stamp any of the greetings that would fit there in between the sections. I chose to do the longest one that says a little bit of sunshine. I'm going to pick that up with my acrylic block and I'm going to stamp it off on my grid paper a few times just to make sure that I'm going to get a good stamped impression. And then I'm going to stamp that right between those two pieces. They are not attached yet. I just laid them there so I knew where I needed to stamp my greeting. Then I'm going to go ahead and place foam adhesive on the back of both of these panels. So the larger bottom panel and the smaller upper panel. Just trimming the foam tape to fit. I'll peel off all the backing paper and then line that up right underneath so that it's pretty well centered on the bottom and the two sides. Add the foam tape to the top panel. Again, just trim it to fit. And then I will place that along the top, making sure that the top and the two sides line up. So it's evenly spaced all the way around, and that is going to finish off the front of the card. On the inside of the card, I'm going to take one of the other greetings that says "Hello Friend," stamp that with the intense black ink, and that finishes off this clean and simple floral card design. Thanks for watching this video showcasing the Simon Says Stamp April 2016 card kit. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos featuring Simon Says Stamp products that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.